Good evening. How's everybody doing today? As you guys come in, definitely let us know where you're coming in from. If you're on YouTube, definitely like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, same thing. We are broadcasting live on both Twitch and YouTube. We have our beta test running a second day in a row for our Roku stream. So we are definitely looking forward to seeing everybody tonight. We're hoping that it is a big show tonight. I know we have a guest on. He's going to help me work through a lot of the stuff that has been being propagated on other channels. So it's going to be a night of debunking. But as you come in, let us know where you're coming in from. What state? I know earlier today we had 8 or 9 states represented. Hopefully we can get quite a few more. Southeast Missouri, welcome Pam. Glad to see you're here. Winks. Oh, the party's just starting, guys. The party is just starting. So there's a bunch of stuff that we're going to cover tonight. It's going to be really rapid. We're gonna have a ball doing it, and it might go a little bit long tonight. But if it goes too long, definitely let us know. We will try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. But you never know. Sometimes the rabbit holes take a little bit of filling in. So yeah, we are going to be having a lot of fun tonight. Piedmont, Oklahoma. Welcome, Lori. Glad to see you're here. And yeah, so welcome to PNN or Patriot News Network. We are glad to see that you guys are here, and we are ready to kind of cut through the BS. We want people to know the truth. We want people to understand what the mission is. So we are definitely going to be covering some of the weird stuff that some other channels have been covering recently. Some of you guys who have been here for a little bit, there's going to be some new people on more than likely. So just bear with us while we debunk a few things, and then we'll move into the meat and potatoes with the current situation that's going on over in Syria. Okay, so we are going to rapid fire plow through some stuff, and then we're going to jump into Syria, and we're going to discuss that. So definitely give it up, guys. I'm going to bring Jason in. Jason, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You guys hear me okay? Shane, you hear me okay?
You're good for me.
Awesome. I don't like to make sure that I don't have any buttons hit or anything else. Afternoon, evening, depending on where you are, everybody. How are you? So, got a lot of stuff to cover. Shane and I have been on the phone for, I don't know, the last hour on and off, going over a bunch of stuff. Glad to see everybody's joining. A lot of people from YouTube tonight, which is good.
And there are quite a few that are still coming in. They are from Twitch. Just share the official Patriot News and just tell them, hey, it's Twitch TV / official Patriot News.
Hold on
share
a second.
the link out to your friends.
Got all the links up right here. No, not that one. Help if I pulled up the right document. We're going to do this. Copy. There we go. And copy. There we go.
So we're gonna take care of a few housekeeping things, and we're gonna plow into everything. I'm not gonna show my website. If you guys want to see the website, go to patriotnewsnetwork.us. If you guys have any questions after the show, definitely get in contact with us. The email address will be playing at the bottom of the screen, so you guys will be able to see it. And yeah, after every show, within an hour of the show ending, we have it up on our podcast, which plays over at Podbean or iHeartRadio. So you guys can catch us there as well if you missed part of the show. So, but Jason, I know you're kind of you're the man of the hour. We want guys.
All right.
I do have a team that I'm working with that kind of gives me information, that gives me the background on some of the items that we discuss. So for me, it's not just myself. I'm not the only person behind the curtain. So Jason's been pretty invaluable for me. We started working together prior, and now when I walked away, Jason came with me. We worked good together. So give it up for Jason. Jason, you take it away.
All right. So yeah, to just expand on what Shane was saying, it's all about relationship building and trust. And I've got it with him, and I hope you guys do too, because he and I are doing everything we can to give you as much as we can, as fast as we can, and as honest as we can. So I'm going to, Shane, if you can pull up the original story, I want to go through that so that everybody can see what we're about to lead off with. And guys, I think by the time we get down to the bottom of it, you're going to be shocked. You're really, really going to be shocked. All right. So, no, I'm sorry. The very first one, the one that you called me about today. You're on mute. Okay. Yeah, Winks, once we get to the bottom of it, it absolutely is good news. I think you guys are going to be a little surprised when we found, or when we get to what it really is going on. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I can pull it up real quick if you can, or you got it. All right, big, huge, giant news. If you guys can see your screen, U.S. launches airstrikes in Syria on order from President Biden. Huge news. All right. Long and the short, we as the United States went and threw some missiles over at Syria. This just happened. I mean, literally was just announced within the last 20 minutes. All right. Brand new. Okay. Scary. You're right. Missiles going off. Absolutely scary. All right. So we, in part, took care of some Iranian, what are they called? Iranian.
There was some Iranian militant. There was a checkpoint in Syria that was ran by the Iranian militiamen, and needless to say, they made some decisions and rockets got fired. Well, one of the buildings right next to this checkpoint that they're talking about was a hospital. It was literally less than 50 yards down the road. So, but I'm gonna let you continue.
So if you bring up this particular article reads that Biden is doing airstrikes. Let's break that down. Let's break that down as a group. All right. What happened last week? Iran threw some missiles over and killed 2 U.S. contractors and injured 6 more, I believe is the number. That was Wednesday of last week, if I remember correctly. What happened on Friday of last week? Shane, if you want to pull that up, Biden actually went and released all of the not injunctions, sanctions, thank you, on Iran. All of the sanctions that Trump put into effect, he released them. Biden isn't an aggressive person. He's a diplomat. He works to try and not have to retaliate. All right. Here's our articles. Here's the proof. If you look at what the next one is, on Tuesday of this week, Biden actually went and even made an announcement. We're going to talk to Iran. We're going to talk to Iran about getting peace. That's what this is. Biden takes first steps to return to Iran nuclear deal. He wants to be at peace with Iran. What happens on Thursday? Biden sends a missile. I don't know that I believe it's Biden. I don't believe that it's Biden in the least bit. And let me explain to you why. If you guys know anything about the bill that Trump passed in 2019, I believe it was, it says that the outgoing president retains control over the military and retains control over the checkbook for 60 days post inauguration. This bill, which Shane has right now, it's like one of the first paragraphs. I don't know if you guys can read it or not. So let me ask you this. If we're within that 60 days, okay, of inauguration, and we see Biden's past of trying to be diplomatic, who do you guys think actually ordered this? My gut tells me Trump did.
And I'm gonna just jump in there real quick, and I'm gonna explain some things, guys. So people kind of wonder a little bit about what I know. I have paid attention, and I've made a living watching people, understanding patterns, dealing with body language, being able to assess intel data and condense it down into a form that's usually known as a presidential daily brief. So we analyze not only the president's state of mind, but we analyze what could happen with him and the vice president and so on and so forth. So not only do we have to analyze what is going on with an administration, but what the world powers are going to do once they realize what we have in our hands. Okay. So under Barack Obama, they had the line in the sand policy. It was a red line that could not be crossed, which was the chemical bombing of civilians over in Syria. They crossed the line. Obama said that they were going to launch a strike. Biden said, no, we're not going to do that. even though hundreds of thousands of people were dying due to chemical weapons. Chemical weapons weren't even used in this attack. Okay. It was rockets. So, what makes a difference? Why would Biden all of a sudden say, "Oh, it don't matter. We're not going to care too much about what's going on"? Why would all of a sudden he just come out of the gate, say we're going to work with him, and then just go and attack him?
It's not a normal thing.
No, it isn't.
Not at all.
So I'm really kind of shocked that they are trying to say that Biden's doing something, because from everything I'm seeing,
so I have to ask you guys, when you watch an action movie, Bruce Willis, those type of movies, what's the first thing that happens when the movie starts? I'm going to tell you, the first thing that happens is a lot of action, a lot of no, not necessarily credits, but a lot of it takes off really fast. On an action movie, it'll go up and come down and go up again and come down and then go up and then the end of the movie, right? Exactly. If Trump is in control of the military, like we've proved, how much action do you think is going on right now? How much more action may come out of CPAC? What's next week? I'm not telling you guys this is facts. I'm telling you as an observer, based on history and what's going on and what we're seeing and what's facts. I think we're getting a lot right now. I think we're getting a lot of what's going on right now. I think that with seeing this Syria bomb or missiles, excuse me, because there's a difference between bombs and missiles. I think things are starting to come to a head very, very, very quickly. I could be wrong. I'm not a betting man when it comes to this, but based on what is normalcy, things like this usually lead off pretty good. What I want to bring up right now, and I'm going to share my screen just so you guys, I want to walk through with you guys kind of what I've been watching on and off today. Okay, if it catches up to me. There we go. Okay. So I've been watching the U.S. a lot today. Let's move the thing over and show you what's going on in the U.S. All right. We have 129 planes right now. All right. At one point during the day today, there was 570 marked planes above the country. That's almost double. That's actually over double what is normal. Okay. Those planes were moving people. There was big planes up. There was a lot of air refuelers up. There was a lot of planes up. Okay. If we take a look at, since we're looking at the US right now, let's just look at the types we've got up. B6, nothing major, B50, C17, C30s, right? Gulf, that's a Gulf stream. These are Gulf streams. Little passenger jets, nothing real big right there, right? But look at the amount of K-35Rs. These K-35Rs are air refuelers, okay? That's a huge number to have up at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time at night over the U.S., okay? The T-38s, those are not a major. The Tex-2s, those are trainers, all right? But let's go. I want to let you guys know. Give me a second here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Syria's right here. All right. We have one plane right now. One plane over this whole area that's showing. Mickey, I'll get to that one in a minute. That Black Hawk. Long story on that one. Anyway, Syria's right here. This area normally has 10 to 15 planes at any point in time flying around here. Not attack planes, not bombers, just general planes that are military planes. For us to be showing nothing right now, it's kind of odd. Okay. So what is this all coming to? What's going on? I don't know. Okay. I will tell you guys right now, I don't know. But what I can tell you is the number of planes being up in the air here at 500 and change today was way, 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 way out of the norm. Never do we have that many planes up. Okay. Not tagged. And what do I mean by tagged? I mean where I can actually go and find these things, like this one here. This one's running. It's got its flight gear on, everything else, okay? Someone asked about Blackhawks being over DC today. They were up over DC, but there was 2 of them, but they weren't of major consequence. And what do I mean by that? They took off from Reagan. One took off from Reagan, which is right here. And the other one took off from David Dawson, which is right here. Okay. And they both came up. This one came up the Potomac. And then the Reagan one came up and met it. But they were up here doing circles and watching things. Guys, just so everybody knows, the White House is right here. Okay. And the Capitol building is right here. Okay. So that brings me, let me show you guys something else that's going on. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Hope if I didn't pass up the US. All right. Have you guys ever seen the traffic for DC and everything that's broken down? If my computer would catch up to me, we'd be doing better. Sorry about that. All right, so let me zoom in on Washington. This thing does not want to catch up to me. Give me a minute. Focus already. See, we're focusing slowly here. All right. We should have traffic on. Oh, I know why. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute. Let me make sure. Traffic. Close that. Reopen this. All right. So here's what DC looks like. Here's our White House. Right here. Let me pause these cameras. Stuff. All right. Here's our White House right here. Only road that's closed right now. All right. Google Earth or Google Maps, I'm sorry, does do this where it'll show you roads that are blocked. Why is it only now? Yeah, granted, guys, we do have the fences up. I'm not saying that we don't. I'm not saying the fences are down, anything like that. What I mean by is actual road closures. Okay, this is the only road closure around the White House right now. To me, it seems kind of strange that our Capitol building is completely closed off. All the roads to the Capitol are completely closed. It's very strange to me. All right. I'm not going to tell you guys conspiracy theory, non-conspiracy theory, or anything else. I'm here to show you what's legit. Okay. This is legit. These are actual road closures around the Capitol. Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me why our White House, with who's the most important person in the U.S. right now, supposed to be POTUS, right? Supposed to be Biden, right? Why would we only have one road closed around the White House and so much closed around the Capitol? Kind of questioning. My common sense tells me something's not right there. Okay. With that said, I'm going to jump a little bit further. Oh, somebody asked me about I already answered the question about the Black Hawk helicopters.
Somebody asked a question earlier, and I know we covered it on a live the other night, but they were talking about how there is supposedly a firefight in the tunnels. So
with the steam and
with the steam and all that stuff. So I figured since we have a map up, we can just quick run through.
Yeah, let me pause. Pause. This is all stuff that I watch every single day, all day while I'm in my office. So give me a minute because it allows me to go back. You're going to miss something.
Jason, you were cutting out quite a bit.
So yeah, with because I've got so many things streaming right now. So give me a minute. I'm trying to kill all my live
while you're loading
myself more bandwidth. All right. So as you guys can see here, let me get you guys back up. All right. As you guys can see here, here's our White House. Okay. Right here is the Washington Monument. Okay. So the live cam that we all look at, and with the firefights and everything else was going on, okay, that actually comes from right over in here. Marshall is this building right here. Okay, I could be wrong. It could be over here. don't know exactly where it is. Okay. But I can tell you it's right in here somewhere based on the view. So what happened the other night? We saw a ton of smoke come up between the White House and the Washington Monument. Okay. Guys, right here, if this catches up fast enough, I'll be happy. Let me make sure I got everything else closed here. Hold on. Okay. Right here is where a lot of the mechanicals are for the White House. Okay. The steam, all of that, I really truly believe came up from right here. Let me zoom in as far as we can go here so you guys can see what it looks like. This is where all the mechanicals are run from, right here. Okay. So with that said, look at the placement. If I zoom out, here's the monument. Here's the White House. Here's the actual cam view. That would be right here. Where was all the smoke that was coming? It was right here. Oh, let me get my mouse so I can see. Yeah, right here. Okay. Kind of makes sense that it was steam. That night, temperature was 34 degrees. Now, I did watch Mustang Medic today, and I did see the steam coming out of the streets. Okay. As Shane said on a previous video, they run steam in those pipes to make sure that they don't freeze. Okay. They have to make sure that they don't freeze. It runs the utilities, it runs the water, it runs subway, it runs a lot. All right. So with what was coming up today and everything else that was going on, I think we pretty well beat that horse. So King me, the steam vents on top of the White House. Let
I can
me
answer that.
hold on.
There are
Let me get this.
5 fireplaces inside the White House, and they are used. So when it gets cold outside, they actually they put tinder in the fireplaces and they light them up. So it's really not unusual, even if the place was vacant, to see smoke rising out of the chimneys of the White House. Okay. So with people saying, oh, there's smoke rising out of the chimneys, well, guys, it happens all the time anyways. When it's cold out, there's smoke coming out of the chimneys regardless. It's how much of a
right now
damper
it's
is
not. Oh, sorry, Shane, I didn't knock over you there. Streaming. As soon as this picture focuses, I'll show you guys. It'll be able to zoom in. Right here is a smokestack. Right here is a smokestack. Right here is a smokestack. Right here is a smokestack.
Bottom line, guys, there's a lot of smokestacks. And yes, we have beat it to death, but we wanted people to understand that there is a lot of people who are willing to throw a lot of disinformation out just to confuse people and scare people.
Right.
So, and then I'm gonna tackle something head on. Under DC, somebody decided, or somebody asked about Chinese soldiers fighting in the tunnels. You know what? Under DC, if it was anywhere close to the White House, which is anywhere within 10 miles of the White House, anybody who believes that Chinese troops were underneath the tunnels, civilians can't even get there. As a civilian, you cannot get to
Right.
those tunnels. So they would literally have had to figure out a way to smuggle a contingent of Chinese soldiers. And let's be logical about this. They'd have to smuggle a contingent of Chinese soldiers with their brown uniforms, their big old patch on their arm that shows the sickle of the Chinese government. Is that possible? That they'd be able to smuggle people through Washington Reagan or Dulles? Not likely. Kids in the tunnels under there? No. Guys, there's a lot of information and a lot of the stuff that is underneath the White House. People know about maybe the first two layers of tunnels underneath the White House, but everything else is classified. Yes, there's a presidential bullet train. Yes, there's an escape route for the president. Is it used? Can't really say. But there's a whole bunch of stuff down there. But
So,
nothing that
I'm
would be
sorry.
accessible by people outside.
I wanted to jump in real quick. And I saw a comment from No Rainey here. I don't know if you could pull that up, Shane. Biden, it was said that he bombed Syria, not in Iran, but maybe it was Iranians in Syria. You're correct. It was an Iranian militia that was in Syria. That militia works with Iran itself. I want to make sure I clarified this. All right. And that Shane clarified this. I don't want to give you guys a false sense of pretense or anything else. It was an Iranian militia group that was working in. Okay. So, King Me, that's kind of the reason why Shane and I are going over all these things right now and explaining them as best we can so that everyone who does watch this, watch us, watch and learns what our experience has brought us. And for everybody who's new, both Shane and I have got governmental experience.
We have experience in matters of national security.
Correct. I came from the Navy. Shane's got his experience. And I focus a lot on the planes because that's what I learned in the military. We have a much newer group of people. And I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of background just so you know who I am, what I've done. I was in the military coming out of high school. I was in the Navy, did my stint, and I was basically a service advisor for airplanes. All right. Just like when you pull your car into a dealership or a service shop and you talk to the man at the desk and you explain to them what's wrong with your car and they have you write up the paperwork and blah, 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 blah. That's kind of what my job was for the pilots. All right. That got me into a lot of what you're seeing me go over with you guys now. Shane's has intelligence background, and that's why the two of us bounce so much off of each other. Okay. So with the new group, I wanted to give you guys a little introduction, let you guys know who we were and what you guys, so you guys know what our history is. All right. I'm reading through some of the comments. Mustang Medic showed a lot of cars going in the back of the White House and said it was strange. There is a lot of rumors about those cars coming in the back of the White House, which is right over here. Okay. I can't speak factually as to what that was. All right. And I don't want to bring up the rumors because I don't want to send you guys down 15,000 rabbit holes until I know what in the world's going on. But what I will say is it was odd for them to be using the South Lawn service drive. This is not a very commonly used drive for a lot of the, for anyone except for service people, meaning, telephone worker, electricians, HVAC people, things like that. That's who uses this. Okay. Almost everyone who comes into the White House comes in through this arc. Shane, if I'm wrong, correct me.
No, I'm going to pull that up so they can actually see what you're talking about.
Okay. Did they not have it? I'm sorry.
You were talking about it, and I'm like,
All right. So just so you guys know, this is the front of the White House right here. All right. This is the South Lawn. This is where everybody comes in at. All the big names, the big players, everybody who gets recognized coming into the White House comes in through here. This is the South Lawn, which is actually a service drive. This is for the lawnskeepers, the servicemen, the HVAC, the electricians, all of them come in this way. Okay. There's much more security coming in this way. There's much more, I don't even know what word I want to use, but
it's a lot more secured.
And it's
I'll jump in here and kind of explain how the White House grounds works. So, guys, the front lawn of the White House, if you cross the fence, you will get arrested. You won't even get 3 feet inside the fence here while keeping your life. On the south lawn, if you get in there, and if you get 3 feet in there, there's a good chance you're going to die, because that is where a Air Force or the Marine One lands. So not only is it a helipad, but that is where the president takes walks. That is where people really get to see him out enjoying nature, as you will. But Obama used the basketball courts. You don't get inside the gate there, because if you do, it's considered a direct threat against the president, and the Secret Service will take care of you. But the front, their security on the whole grounds, there's sensors and wires and pressure pads and all that good fun stuff all over the lawn. You're not going to step on the lawn without people knowing. So a lot of people ask, well, why is it so secure? Well, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie White House Down, but that is based on something that somebody tried to do. They literally took the notes from the guy who is going to do it. They got a copy of the notes and they built a movie out of it. So it is based off of what was going to happen, but they managed to thwart it before the guy got everything put together. So
somebody asked, is Biden there? And no one living in the residence. So guys, listen, I'm going to come back over here and let's zoom back out. With there being traffic able to come through here, able to come here, here, and here. And yes, there is the additional fencing, okay? my experience, I don't think anybody's there. Based on what I'm seeing here. Okay. Shane, if I'm wrong, by all means, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you think I'm wrong, and we'll let these guys go. You know, we'll let them think whatever they want. But I'm telling you guys right now, with there being as much free flowing traffic here, I highly doubt it.
Yeah. And quite honestly, guys, the White House, there were a lot of trucks out front this morning, and it was kind of funny because there are other people who were talking about the trucks and all that stuff. Jason, you brought that up to me a little bit, and there was a whole flurry of emergency vehicles, and then it was done. And then when you were telling me, all those trucks and everything were gone. So, was there something going on? We don't know. It's pure speculation. But I'm also smart enough to know that when the president is at the White House, when they're actually holding press conferences from the White House, you're not getting within. I mean, the foot traffic, you can get within by the fence, but vehicle traffic is slim to none.
So let me just explain to you what happened today, what I saw today. Right here, all right, you guys saw the gallows or the viewing booths, all right, that was right here. Those have all been taken down, okay? There was 4, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the construction trailers that like general contractors use to lay out their plans and things like that. There was 4 of them that were here, literally right here today. There was 5 or 6 forklifts. There were tons of construction trucks that were all over here. When that camera system went down, it was about the same time that everybody said all this, you know, the buses and everything else pulling up and whatnot happened. But what I will tell you is when this all came back up, none of it was there. Not a single piece of equipment was there. You can see this car with this headlights right now. You would normally see trailer block that car. Okay. I can't tell you what happened. I have done 4 or 5 hours worth of research and listened to EMS, listened to DC Fire, and I can't figure out what happened. Guys, I'm not going to guess and tell you the White House was taken over, or I'm not going to guess and tell you this or tell you that. I don't know. And if I don't know, I'm telling you, I don't know. All right. But what I can tell you is what I can see with my own 2 eyes. And that is all the construction equipment that was here, which was a lot, is all gone. All of it is gone, which is weird. All right. It's not normal to shut a camera off to move out construction equipment. It makes no sense. Okay.
And somebody, Winks, is saying that the internet was down all over DC and Delaware as well today.
So I have Down Detector open right now and watching it on and off. And the only thing that I can find as far as Down Detector shows, which is what I use to, because obviously if I'm in Chicago, I can't tell you guys, you know, what your particular area was, but that Down Detector, the only thing that came up that was really odd was 3 things today. 1, Reddit went down hard. I mean, like hard. You couldn't use the app. You couldn't use the anything. Facebook was down for almost 2 hours. on and off. And this is, again, guys, this is only based on Down Detector. Facebook was down, and Facebook Messenger was down. Those three things. That's the only thing I can verify today. And I literally sit in this stupid chair 9 hours a day. And all this is up and I watch it all. Okay. So I don't know. And Patty MD, I just saw your comment. I heard things like that also, but I don't want to tell you guys factually that that's what happened. I will tell you that when I watched Mustang Medic, he was very sidetracked by the protests that were going on outside of DC or in DC today. Were those protests to distract from something? Don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I can tell you what history does, and usually there's distractions. And that's about the same time that the cameras were out. Don't know. Can't tell you. I wish I had answers for you guys, but I don't want to guess at it.
And guys, I think people are starting to see kind of a glaring disconnect from what we do versus some other channels. We are not going to sit there and blow smoke up the skirts or your pants, men, women, other. I'm just throwing it out there, kind of lightening the mood a little bit. But we don't want to blow smoke up your skirts or pants. So, guys, when we say we don't know, and we're not going to pretend that we know, that's what we mean. We're not going to be dishonest with you and say, "Oh yeah, this happened. We have the proof. We have the evidence." We are not going to be those people. When I finally walked away, Jason and I had a conversation, and we sat down. Okay, what is going to be the mission? Facts above all else. If we can't verify something, if we can't bury down into the meat and potatoes and actually be able to get some verification, some hard verification, then we're not gonna discuss it to the point where we beat the dead horse.
Yep.
I am not going to put my neck out on the line and say that something's happening, and then people find out later that it wasn't. That's completely antithetical to what we believe in.
Right.
What do I think Trump's speech Sunday will be about? I don't know, guys, but guess that's a perfect segue. I'm gonna really just quick. I want everybody's opinion. Are you guys wanting CPAC every day? Do you want us to record it live every single day and send it on Twitch and YouTube?
While you're waiting for that answer, I want to touch on something that Patty MD 303 said. Saw a video which looked like kids getting let out of the White House. Couldn't tell. It was too far away. Then what looked to be two caskets being carried out. Patty, I saw two videos with the exact same things that you're explaining. Okay. The kid video from a blind eye, untrained, from as far back as what it was, yes, it did look like kids coming out of the White House. Whether or not those were kids for a school or a parochial school or 100 other different reasons. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you it was kids they saved. I'm not going to tell you it was kids from the tunnels or anything else. But what I am going to tell you is, yes, it appeared to be kids coming out. There was about 12 of them. I agree with you guys. Listen, I agree with you guys. It was late at night. It may not have been a school thing. Don't know. I'm not going to guess because I don't know what was going around it. But the size of the people that were there versus the other people that were there, they were a quarter of the size. So yes, they appeared to be children. And there were cars lined up and they all got escorted to cars. The video of the casket coming out, I saw that one. And I can't verify that it was a casket or a couch or a filing cabinet laid down on its side or anything else. All right. I am one who really wants to debunk or come up with as best of a debunk as I can. And I can't say what that was. Okay. And I don't want to tell you guys it was a casket or even that it was a possibility of a casket, because that leads way down some paths that a lot of people don't necessarily need to go down. So your kid one, yeah, I do believe that those were kids. The other one, not so much.
Yeah, and talking about the civilians brought in on buses, you know, guys, I don't know if you guys knew this, and I don't want to really rail against Mustang Medic or anybody else for that matter. That's not the kind of person I am. But do you guys know how Congress people are transported from the Capitol Hill to the White House? I'm just curious. They are transported via buses. Even though it's just a short distance away, they are transported via buses to the White House. Their meeting happens, and they get back on the bus, and they leave. It doesn't matter if it's early in the morning, middle of the day, or at night. Buses are used to transport people from Capitol Hill to the White House and back. They're usually white buses, but sometimes they get charter buses from other carriers. So it could have been a lot of things, but we don't want to say that, yes, it was definitely this. Yes, it was definitely this. Because again, facts matter. We want to have the facts. The facts are nobody can really verify if they were truly civilians or if they were people from Capitol Hill.
So as I'm reading these, I saw someone, and I'm sorry if I missed whoever it was who said the comment or asked the question. Shane, what do you think the speech is going to be like on Sunday? I have my opinion, but I've done a lot of talking.
I'm
gonna let you take this one.
It's kind of funny because people ask, well, what do I think? I think it's going to be a rock solid speech. I am going to turn on CPAC, and then I'm going to church. So when I get home, I'll get to see what Trump's speech was. I am on Sunday, and normally I take the day off, but because CPAC is going, we will be streaming it all day long. Just so everybody, if people want to, I'm probably going to just hand the controls over to Jason, and unless he has obligations, we'll figure something out. But we want to make sure you guys get it in its entirety, period, end of story.
I'm going to tell you guys my opinion, I think it's probably, and with as much stress and strain as everyone who believes that things didn't go right with the election, and I'm going to just leave that as a general statement, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Those that have been there and felt this pain and felt this frustration are going to hear this speech on Sunday, and it is going to be probably one of the most emotional speeches that I think any of us are going to hear, because we've been through 45 days of disaster. I think it's going to be emotional for everybody, and I think he's going to have a lot of emotion behind it. And I think it's going to be one of the biggest rally cries of all time.
Okay, so guys, I'm getting messages from people on a chat. I'm getting messages from people here. So one of the messages, I can't pull it up, but one of the messages is how do we combat the woke culture? Actually, I'll read it in its entirety here. So, how do we end woke culture that's destroying what's left of our country? Guys, see this? See this? We need to use them. You guys have pens. You guys have a pencil. You guys have a microphone. Use them. You guys want to. Last night we talked about the Convention of States, and anybody who has done any research into Article 5 powers that are given to the state under the Constitution would understand that now we as American citizens must actually unite, and we need to push our Congress people and our House, our state houses and Senate. We have to push them to go for the Convention of States. If you guys are looking for that link, Jason will be putting that up in the chat in just a few seconds. And of course, we are going to have it on the website for everybody to really dive deep. Check out the PDF that's on the website. It'll explain why the Convention of States is important. We can modify the government in ways that the politicians themselves that are in power in Washington will not do themselves. So can hardly tell the people. Well, welcome, Mike T. I'm glad you guys are. I'm glad you're coming in. I absolutely love when people come in and throw in an alternate opinion. So welcome. Just sit back and maybe you'll learn something as well. But I mean, guys, honestly, when you're talking about concentrated power in Washington, and you really want to dive deep into how to get people with term limits and all that stuff, politicians aren't going to do that under the current way of doing business. They're not going to give away their power. That's why Article 5 in the Constitution was actually set up so we can actually go and get the power and bring it back to the states. 34 to convene the convention, 38 to ratify anything that is changed. So it's not a large threshold. We have 16 states that have already said that they were going to do it. So, I mean, quite honestly, guys, that's that. And we gotta love our trolls because they like to give us plenty of fodder to chew on. But hopefully, one of these days they'll actually learn that I don't really care about them too much. And I mean, in all reality, guys, when you're talking about grassroots movement, when you're talking about building a grassroots movement, when you're talking about spreading conservatism, when you're talking about all that stuff, it starts with you. You guys are you, me, your neighbors. We are the ones who are able to actually make the change. We can't wait on a politician to change the laws. We can't wait on somebody to come in and rescue us. We have to make the change ourselves. We have to bring this about. Nancy Pelosi's been in office longer than I've been alive. I'm sure almost longer than Jason's been alive. Joe Biden sure has been in office a heck of a lot longer than I've been alive. Almost twice as long. So I there is a push for the Constitutional Convention. If you guys follow the link, go to the website and check it out. I highly recommend it. You guys definitely want to read the pamphlet, understand what's at stake, understand what you guys are actually signing. And once you understand it, send it to a few neighbors. 3 people, sharing with 3 people within 1 month. If that was to continue, you would have over 75 million people that would have signed that petition. So
real quick, Shane, I want to step in on something real quick. I was reading through the comments, and Ariel Mel, Shane was not talking to you. It was someone that came across on YouTube, and Mike T is the one who said it. And Mike, listen, if you supported Clinton on her 4 years and lost, and you're against Trump, and it was a long 4 years for you. And if that's what's going to end up happening is Biden president for 4 years, then we're going to have a long 4 years.
it's just going to be
In the process, we are
going
going
to be another thing for us to buckle down and work harder.
Right. It's just going to drive us. So, I appreciate your opinions. I really do. And I'm not trying to be aggressive in any way, shape, or form. I'm giving you a little bit of clout here. I'm giving you a little bit, clout. That's kind of a bad way to put it. I'm giving you a little bit of attention here. You went through 4 years of what you didn't like. And if we end up in 4 years of what we don't like, it just makes us work harder to get 4 years of what we do like. Appreciate your comments, though.
Yeah. For me, I don't have a whole lot of time to waste talking to dead space, but we'll continue moving forward, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns before we get this party wrapped up? And tomorrow morning we will be live at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to stream all day long, all of CPAC. And then we will have some analysis at 8 p.m. So yeah. But I mean, guys, we had to put somebody in timeout for a little bit. I know that's about the only way they'll understand. Not that big of a deal. But If there is something that breaks, we will bring it to you guys. So we're live. Will the live stream be available to watch on your site later? Yes, but I will not be able to keep it up on YouTube because it just won't be able to. So yeah, we will get that.
So King Me's got a good one.
There
Right
are
on.
ongoing meetings, and that's all I can say about it. And we're just gonna leave it at there. So, is Sean Hannity good? Bad? I mean, Sean Hannity is a powerful voice for the conservative movement. I believe he is actually one of the guys who would be best counted amongst conservatives. Tucker Carlson as well, Mark Levin. I mean, all these guys are pretty big voices. So, Peaches has a question. Yes, I was answering that one.
Yep. Is Air Force One still in Palm Beach?
So, Air Force One, the actual 747 Air Force One, has been in a hangar down in West Palm Beach since Trump landed there.
So, King Me, I just want to make sure that we quantify that question. Air Force One is any plane that POTUS flies on, whoever is POTUS. Okay. What Shane's answer was the plane that Trump flew on in a hangar. So I just want to make sure that we quantify that so everybody understands. We don't mean that the fleet of Air Force Ones are in Palm Beach, just the one.
Yeah, and I mean, guys, the Command and Control Center is on a 747, and that's all I can really say. And there's 3 747s that all match. So if other people were out there and they were jumping on Air Force One, why aren't they on the 747, which is a command and control unit?
Right. Why doesn't Trump have a TFR?
For safety reasons.
There's all sorts of different reasons for that. And I have had tons of conversations about that specific question. And I think Shane just nailed it on the head. If Trump doesn't have a TFR, we don't have anything to look for. Think about that, guys. We don't know what his movements are. If he has a TFR that's permanently set where he is, we know where he is.
Or where he's going or what he's doing.
Right.
Or it's better that for him to be able to move around, it's better not to have a permanent TFR.
So President Trump got the new plane because Biden's plane looks like a reject. Biden's plane is legitimately the old Air Force Two that he used to fly on. TFR, Mickey, is temporary flight restriction. And what it means is an area in a circular diameter of a cone, an oval shape. So kind of like if you took a mixing bowl and turned it upside down, right? So it'll go like this, right? Of a place where you cannot fly with it.
Oh, yeah. If the shoe fits, fly it. Yeah. So, um,
Mar-a-Lago, kidding me, is on an island.
it is technically it is an island that is tied to the mainland. It's just a little tiny bridge, a couple little tiny bridges that go to it. But it is close enough that it looks to be part of the main. But
Peaches had a question about another attempt to kill him a day or two ago. I didn't hear anything about that.
so sometimes it's best to not discuss things. And we do have some whack jobs that have over the past 3 months tried to take out presidents. And I'm not going to say when. Again, it's operational security, so even if I did know, I wouldn't be able to say anything. So,
King Me, TFR over Orlando. That's for Disney World. Yep.
Bush has a TFR. Obama's they did until they moved to Martha's Vineyard, which is a gated community, and it's pretty much planes aren't allowed there anyway, so there's no airport anywhere around there.
I will tell you out of experience, if and when Obama does ever come back to Chicago, he does get a TFR here.
Because it's his home city.
Correct.
So
he's got a bunch of houses here.
Are we holding people on Epstein's Island? You know, I don't know. I would have to look into that one. I can't even honestly answer that.
I have been watching a couple of videos on Epstein's Island, and they've got security up. If you go within, I want to say it's 50 or 100 feet of any part of the island, you will have security coming out questioning you. So I can't tell you whether or not there's actually people there, but I can people being held there. Let's put it that way. But I can tell you, security does watch it pretty tight.
Yeah, I'll have to circle back on that one. You guys do provide a lot of materials. It's funny. I enjoy having you guys ask the questions. We just kind of answer them. We definitely, guys, we're going to be wrapping this thing up. Any questions that you guys might have, any comments, concerns, definitely email us at the link scrolling across at the bottom of the screen. And remember,
real quick, before you shut off, somebody asked about Epstein's Island. I want to show you guys how to get there. All right. Just so you can do your own research on it. Give me 1 second. I'm waiting for this stupid thing to speed up. It's called Little St. John Island. And it is right over in here.
Whenever it decides to load.
It's over here. Yeah, like I said, guys, I've got a ton of stuff up right now. Kami, I see your question, and no, I don't think that there's a moon-based prison. It's right here, right off of Virgin Islands. I don't know if I'm gonna get this pulled up fast enough.
Go to St. John's.
It's like right over here. Or maybe over here.
Yeah, it's right in between the Virgin Islands and been to St. John's Island for our honeymoon 34 years ago. Congratulations. That is quite a while to be married. So I'm going to give you props there.
So that's the island. Right there. That's FC. All right. So you can actually type that into Google Earth and it'll take you right there. All right. These are all the buildings that are above. There's a bunker over here and a bunker over here, and then one built into the hill over here. There's a pool that's off over here. And here's where the boats come in. And I don't remember, there's somewhere where a sub can come in through here and some other stuff too.
Somebody asked, put that up. If you're a guessing man, do you think how much notice do you think we'll have before the action begins? A few days or a week? How about none?
Yeah. Yeah. My heart of hearts, Shane, smack my hands if I'm wrong, but I think that this missile launch tonight was it.
Well, we're about to find out. We'll see.
And guys, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not telling you to take that to Vegas. What I think only. So
I'm gonna boot your screen off there, so you're actually running at full speed. But no, the EBS will never turn. We will not be warned. It won't happen. To do that would give up the element of surprise.
Right.
So
I haven't been watching the comments because I was trying to pull this up. Is there anything else that you wanted to pull up, Shane, on the comments?
No, I'm done. Just kind of going through. Yeah, the EBS. If you were to activate the EBS before anything happened, it would just freak everybody else and panic them. So we definitely, if something happens, it's not going to. I don't. At the bottom of my heart, I do not believe it'll ever get activated. So, but I'm sure I'm gonna have my phone ringing. We're gonna get off the show. We're gonna stop, and I'm gonna have probably 30 calls. Why did you say this? Why did you say that? Why did you say this? Guys, I use education, I use research, and I draw conclusions. I give fact-based opinion in regards to a lot of what I think is happening based on evidence and the preponderance of evidence and actually diving deep into the subject field. As far as anything else goes, I mean, we're all human, but there's a lot of work that we're doing. So if things kick off and things get really snorting, trust me, we'll be on the thick of it. We'll be talking about it before, probably a little time before the mainstream even catches it. But we're not going to go down the rabbit holes until we have stuff confirmed.
Right.
So, but guys, as I say each and every single night, you guys have a pen, you have a microphone, use them. The silent majority can no longer be silent. God bless you guys. God bless America. And good night.